why Bwipo for jungle?
Why not?
Like, if you don't try to win at all, just go fuck yourself. Really, like, why are you competing?
But I want to be a jungle support that when the enemy team sees us together on the map, they're like, what do we do now? You know, like it's lost.
Do Bwipo and Hilly still int?
Still int, I mean, of course they do. This guy is a clown, you know. He's a big clown, actually, Nisqy. It's always good to have such a kind of player, you know, in the team. Like the big clown, no one respects him. Like, he's disrespected by everyone.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Next 10 Summer Split AMA. I'm going to be your host, Pete. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce our very first special guest. He's actually going to be co-hosting with me tonight. It's brand new streamer on Fnatic's content creator roster. It's Robalas.
Hello everyone. So I started streaming 4 years ago. I dropped what I was doing. It was a license of game design because I was focused on like maybe trying to work for Riot, but in the industry, not as a player or stuff. So I started streaming, and 4 years later, I'm here.
That brings us up to our next set of guests that we're going to bring on. We're going to bring on the management team of Fnatic.
Are you guys trying to develop a long-term process with the actual roster? Or if you are trying to renew Bwipo and Hilly's contracts?
Yes, I think we even publicly stated that we did have contractual conversation with all our players, including the ones that have expiring contracts this off-season. We didn't proceed in such to a point that we are all like happy and sign up for another term. But I do think we're looking at a very harmonious group.
This is for all of you guys, but maybe I'll throw it to you, Sam. It's quite clear that a lot of people lately have been pretty upset or hesitant with the roster changes. What do you have to say to these people? Do you think all, or at least most of the changes were for the better?
It's about building a harmonious team, a team culture that's ready to win world championships. And if it takes 6 months, or if it takes 12 months, or if it takes 2 weeks, or it takes a few years, we're going to keep building the right decisions to build for the long term. I think the decisions that were made were the absolute best available to us in that time.
Fnatic fan forever on Twitter that said at the start of the year, Sam and Dardo said they believed in the roster and project. And he asked what made them change their mind.
We thought that it was a good moment to explore our options, and we saw a really good option over there in the market that was Adam, and we felt it was the right moment to bring him. Once we decided on Adam, then we needed to decide what do we do with Bwipo, and this is not coming from nowhere. This is something that has been on the table for many times, and with a very good alignment between coaches and management, we presented this opportunity to Bwipo, and he felt ready for the challenge. This is the Next 10, right? So this is about making bold moves and not staying in this, call it, cycle of top 5 to 8 placement at Worlds, or narrowly missing out on taking back the LEC throne.
But now I'd like to introduce our next special guest. It's going to be Yamato Cannon, our head coach, Shaves, our coach, and Bwipo.
Yeah, we have a couple of questions before we move to the viewer questions. So the first one will be why Bwipo for jungle, and maybe how did the decision come about?
Why not? Like, I've always had a good feeling for the game. It's very apparent in the way I play top lane. I was always trying to be very active on the map, trying to contribute as much as I could to the team. And all the coaches I've worked with over the years in Fnatic have always somewhat linked that to a jungler's trait.
The tricky part about jungle is assessing the state of the game. The tricky part is not kiting your camps or like beating on your chickens. This is like a very, very easy aspect of it. It's like when you lane, you have to focus on all these trades and all these aspects. And in jungle, to me, is understanding game state, understanding lane state. I think this is where it's used the most, because jungle drives the action in the game. And I think Bwipo is a man that likes action. We saw that many times in top lane. And I always say this, you know, like Bwipo and Hilly-sang, they were in a long distance relationship. He had a weekend break, he comes into bot lane. Then Hilly is sad because all along he knows that Bwipo had to go back top and catch their wave and be gone for maybe 5-6 minutes. And now they are more united than ever.
The next question will be for Shaves. So in which capacity are you in for the split?
I mean, right now I'm just trying to get the guys aligned together, figuring out the stats, and finding a proper identity that we can win hopefully every game.
While you are only new to the role, you have had a lot of insight and experience. Do you think you will still be at a disadvantage against more experienced junglers?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, I really don't mind. I think honestly, like, first of all, there's big jungle changes coming in, and like for a lot of people, they might think it's bad for me, but actually, I think a lot of junglers will have more struggle transferring new strategies to their play pattern rather than rely on their old ones. And I think that's the first advantage I have, is the fact that I'm fresh. I didn't know what was good until I did it on this patch. When it comes to learning a new role, given the fact that I spend enough time and effort, and I did, to learn the new patch and the new champions, I don't think I'm at a detriment at all. In fact, I would say I'm at an advantage, because all these experienced junglers, they have no idea how to expect, you know? Like, you have to consider, you go into week 1, you know, I play against Inspired and Elyoya, and they're great players, but I don't think there's a single person on that team that can pinpoint exactly how I'm going to play or what I'm going to prioritize, for that matter, and that will carry on for weeks. I would say I'm at an advantage currently, but as the split will go on, perhaps their experience will help them in the long term.
In a season in which Lee Sin makes a comeback with other good damage dealer junglers, will you play more tank jungle, or can we expect a Diana Bwipo? Not to mention that we would be glad to see your Nunu or your Sejuani. I guess what they're trying to get at is, what type of jungler are you?
Whatever my team needs me to be. I like to keep it simple. I think I have plenty of options to play, and I think I have plenty of experience playing all the champions that junglers play. Like, there's very few champions that I have no experience on playing. I will play whatever it takes to win. So if that's Nunu, then I'll roll some snowballs down whatever lane I need to, you know. If that's Ivern, I'll press E a bit. Like, it doesn't matter.
So we can say it's a wide pool of knowledge.
Yes, and a wide champion pool. I mean, actually, my teammates are already, like, one of the first discussions we had that actually triggered me was my teammates are trying to unwiden my champion pool. I don't know what the word is. Like, my champion pool is too wide, and they're like, we're drafting too many junglers.
Any particular difficulties that you are having in mastering the new role?
The biggest difficulty is definitely aligning with my teammates. Like, farming my camps and getting big is something that I've always done. I always enjoy farming as a jungler. Like, it's so nice, you know. You do your chickens, you do your golems, you just run around and you farm, and you're so fed. You're like a solo laner level of strength, but sometimes I like to farm a bit too much, get a bit too wide, and then my laners are complaining that the jungler is ganking them. So I need to get into the action. So finding a good balance between farming too much and farming too little, because obviously I am guilty of being both. Aligning with my teammates on what timings feel good for them in order for me to be in their lane and help them, and aligning with them to let them know what timers feel good for me to farm my jungle.
So I guess this is for Yamato. Did you guys find what went wrong during Spring Split? If yes, what was it? And have you managed to fix it for summer?
Considering our results, a lot of things went wrong. I think if I could pinpoint one thing, it's just setting the wrong expectations. Now, coming into summer, we have set the right expectations, the right idea of what we need to figure out early on.
And that leads us to a question that is from a Twitter user. It's Kaiser himself that asked you, Yamato, what are the expectations for the summer split? Will we get to Worlds?
Sorry, I thought it was Kaiser from Mad Lions. I was like, why is he asking this? Because he said Kaiser himself. Like, oh, that Kaiser, okay. The expectations for summer, will we go to Worlds? Well, like, we're planning to win it all. Like, I don't think, like, you need to practice the news every day as if you plan to win it all. Like, what's the point of doing anything else? Like, if you don't try to win it all, just go fuck yourself. Really, like, why are you competing? With this change for Bwipo into jungle, it is a big risk, but the reward is going to be juicy, because I feel like the players, you know, the mix of players, the personalities we have, I think is just good. I like it. You know, I enjoy coming into the practice every day, and I want to aim as high as possible. Nothing has changed. Is
jungle just part of your master plan to gradually sit closer to Hylissang, Bwipo?
I'll use this whole question as an opportunity. Like, the joke answer is obviously that way he can, you know, we can connect a bit closer. But the real answer is, like, what made me and Hylissang's relationship, if you will, in game at least, the most spectacular to me, or at least the one that I felt the best about, is like whenever I felt like we were on the same play together, we were the most impactful. You know, like, whenever we had the initiations together, I felt like that's when we truly had the game in our control. Exactly that I want to recreate in jungle. It's not about the frequency of me and him playing together, it's the power behind it, right? It's the fact that when we are together at the same time, we can immediately make a play that will turn the game around in our favor. That's exactly what I'm like hoping for, and that's exactly what I want to work with Hilly for. Is like, it's not, we don't have to be a jungle support that like hugs each other the whole game, but I want to be a jungle support that when the enemy team sees us together on the map, they're like, what do we do now? You know, like, it's lost.
Do you see Adam being able to perform as a top-tier top laner from the start of the split, or is he mainly a bet to see if he can develop during the competition with the help of his teammates and the coaching staff?
I believe Adam is in a very, very fortunate position, because the player that is right next to him is a player that went to the World Finals in his rookie year. There is a wealth of experience in every position that we have. Being a rookie on a roster like that, you just get to soak information, and every day it's like a overdose of experience that you can soak from. His raw talent is there, right? He knows how to execute. He has hands, and he has the right mind to also learn with the players that he has around him.
Thank you, Yamato, and thank you, Shaves. As you can see, we've got our brand new top laner. Welcome, Adam. How's it going?
It's going pretty well. Thank you, man.
Well, I mean, because you're new here, Adam, we want to know a little bit more about you.
So the first question is, when did you start playing League of Legends, and when did you realize you wanted to become a pro?
I started League of Legends in beginning of season 5, so 6 years ago basically. I actually reached Challenger in season 8, so like in basically 3 years playing I was like Challenger. I just knew I wanted to go pro when I entered the university. Actually, I went in the medical field. I wanted to become a doctor, that's why I entered the university. Eventually, like the medical study are like so fucking long, and I was already Challenger, so I was like, okay. I was talking with my friends and they were like, okay, why don't you make a Twitter post and ask to join the team? And that's what I did, and that's basically how I joined my first team in 2019, and since everything's going pretty fast.
About the fact that you joined Fnatic, how did you get the call?
It was actually after my win in EU Masters. So actually my manager in K-Corp actually told me during EU Masters that I had already some interesting offers, but I didn't want to know them until I win EU Masters or until EU Masters is finished. But the first time I got a call with Dardo, he presented me the project, he presented me the offer, and even though I didn't have the mindset to join Fnatic, the offer I was made, I couldn't just refuse it.
And now that you are in Fnatic, how do you feel being in the team?
I was kind of scared, to like meet Bwipo, Hilly, Upset, and Nisqy, because they have like a lot of experience. I thought actually that this player would be really so ego with me. Like I thought they would have so much ego. Like they were like, okay, wait, you're fucking rookie. Why do you even talk? But the funny part is they're really not in that mindset, and I'm really feeling comfortable with them.
How do you feel about playing in the LEC? Do you feel ready to tackle this challenge? And how does having Bwipo there to help you make you feel more comfortable?
I accepted the offer because I felt ready, and also everyone is helping me in the team doing scrims, even me evolving like humanly. As a person, like they really helped me to become like a really great teammate and to become a better player. And yeah, as I said, I'm really lucky, and Bwipo and I, we really talk a lot about the game, of course, because like he used to be the top laner, so he knows way more than I should know, of course. So I really enjoy like having discussions with him. It's really good because I can just improve by having him.
What are the things you would like to show everyone about you?
I want to reach Worlds. I want to even reach Worlds this year. I want to face the top laner of all around the world. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here to just do a DC game. I'm really here to win. That's how I want people to perceive me, as a winner and someone who has a lot of ambition.
You have 5 BMWs as shown in your announcement video. Do you even have your license yet?
No, I don't even have my driver license. No, I'm just flexing, you know.
This guy comes up to me every day and asks me, "Hey Pete, if we win the first game of LEC, will you get me a BMW?" Do Bwipo and Healy still int?
Still int. I mean, of course they do. Like they've been inting since like 3 years now, so I'm sure you doubt that. Now, of course, now they're actually doing so great, and I'm really glad because you know I was like kind of scared going to scrims, like my first LEC scrims. I was kind of afraid, you know, that I wouldn't have been able to perform. But as far as I can tell, I'm doing pretty good by far.
What do you think of Nisqy? Nisqy's in the chat, by the way.
He's this guy is a clown, you know. He's a big clown actually, Nisqy. But he's the guy that brings the good humor, you know, in the team, and it's always good to have such a kind of player, you know, in the team. Like the big clown, no one respects him. Like he's disrespected by everyone. Like, it's good. Like you can piss on this guy, he won't say anything. You do whatever you want. It's good. I'm glad. Okay.
Adam, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Guys.
It was really great introducing you to our community. I really hope you like Adam. It's going to be a really spicy. No,
it wasn't even toxic.
You just called a teammate a clown. There's nothing to it.
I just spit fact, bro. It's not mean when I said he's a clown. It's not mean. Like as I said, he brings good humor. It's really enjoyable for the environment, you know, and it's good.
Thank you so much once again. Don't forget to catch us playing this Friday. LEC is starting. I cannot wait. I'm sure you can't wait as well. So we'll see you guys then.